Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Me and Auntie Deno has got a years of history with Garner wafers. I started with Garner wafers when I was 17 years old. So I'm not going to tell you how old I am now, but I've been for years with the company. I've been for years with the company. And where else we actually came from in 1997.
Yes.
She actually started first in the Marcel's in Westgate Mall, where she started baking sugar cones with one plate and not even a machine yet, only with one plate. And from there, she started up the company, which was the first factory in Killarney Gardens. Am I right, Audrey? That is where she started. Um, Firstly, I simply worked for Marcel's years ago when she started with. And Marcel's still up until today is doing the frozen yogurt, and that is when Elsie said, well, Marcel, you do the frozen yogurt, I am going to start the sugar cones. And that is how the business started in 1997. That is Garner Wafers' first machine, which is machine number 1, who's still working and operating after 26 years. Up there you can see that is the first factory that where Elsie and her related husband Graham opened up Garner Wafers. That was the first staff that worked for Garner Wafers. I'm correct, it was Habiba and Nurjan. Yeah. So, Yvonne, when we all started, we started from the floor. No safety standards as yet. So that was the first load of the cross-border shipment. That was, I think, Namibia, when we exported to Namibia. Yeah, first brochure, 2004. I saw yesterday that Elsie is still sitting with the brochures, the artwork in our office. So that was mostly of the products the Garden Wafer started with. A lot of the products were not manufacturing today. That was the very start of Garden Wafers. And then as you can see, we started having checkers on board. That was in 2007. And since 2007, we are still serving Hungry Lion and checkers today. So now we come to the staff. We only started off with, I think it was less than 30 staff first. And back then, we were actually working double shifts because there wasn't a night shift and a day shift. We would stay away from home for 5 days. First shift will start from 7 till 4. You go to Elsie's house in Belfast, go and refresh, have supper, and be back at work at 7 o'clock the evening.
Now that I know we can do it. Now that I know we can do it.
And then we'll start at 7 o'clock and then go home 1 o'clock in the morning. You'll nap and you'll be back at work at 7 o'clock the following morning. Because we only had one machine and the business started picking up. But back then we didn't have all the staff. So we were working double shifts back then. That's why we still look so young. We didn't have kids at the time. No children. And this is the handsome man. Fadila, take note of all the wows, Fadila. He's also a handsome man. Over there, cats, we had Tanya that was doing basically, she was one person doing 4 people's job at a time. And then that was the first move from Montague Gardens to Maitland. That was the first move from a small factory, the bigger one when we moved to Maitland. More products was added on. As you know, we're still doing the waffles. We've got the unicorn and bubblegum frosting still, and also our ice cream coatings. And that was our jumping room. And then we did the garnish awards, the filling of the ice cream. Welcome. So that was our jumping room. I think that was students that we.
It's actually ice cream making.
Yeah, ice cream. That was our dispatch team back then. Yeah. That's me facing the back part.
It's a bit thinner.
That's machine number 2. So we are now 1 and 2. I think the mama came on later. And then we had the conch. That was the conch in the Maitland factory.
No, actually, that's the conch arriving from overseas.
From overseas, yeah. And that was our Uncle Herman. Was the only driver that we had. And that was doing the whole Western Cape, including the garden route. And that was our team in 2012. Yeah. A lot of them have, yeah. Right? Big. That was the team. Yes, and it was a driver, right? Nothing. Like now. And then in 2023, the team grew from a handful. Were you born then? So then we've got our 2 CEOs, which is very passionate about what they are doing. So like Shaheen explained to us the other day, he had the passion for driving and keep the company going. Elsie has got the passion for marketing and new product development. So yeah, I think we could also just give great thanks to these 2 people because where Garner came from, which was only a handful of people, and grew into what we've got now. And that we are moving to much more growth in the future. So what kept me and Auntie Emily going back then was we were passionate about what we were doing. We were passionate about wanting to learn new things. And that's why the 2 of us, the knowledge that we picked up during, because we were always willing to do, even the double shifts. So that is from my part. Yeah. You want to say something else? Okay, I will just give you a small little intro of my journey at Garner, where I started. 2000, I started at the company, and as a cleaner, I was cleaning the factory, the toilets, all over. I started learning making dough, baking, and we just moved up. Me and Natasha just moved up. At the time, she was a supervisor from the team, and in that same year, I became the first woman driver at Garner, the last one. Because a lot of guys now. But the journey was very, very well, and it's still going strong.